This is the Woodworking CPA, and what I have for you today is a tribute video of one of my favorite YouTube channels with some real woodworking education mixed in. That channel is the LockPickingLawyer. I didn't have much interest in locks before discovering his channel, but that changed after just a few videos. Now I know that no lock is safe from a skilled attack, and many can be opened with minor skills using simple tools and exploits. I encourage you to check it out, and I will put a direct link to the site in the description below. This piece of solid Indiana walnut was provided from Greg from Minneapolis, Indiana. He writes that he'd like to use this material for a fire mantle, but worries about the rather large knot defect featured here. This knot defect is something a novice woodworker can defeat with low-skill tools and a simple approach. Today, we will use West Marine Resin number 105 with their fast hardener number 205, but any quality epoxy will work, including small craft epoxy and all brands used for tabletop epoxy. Other supplies needed are the small non-waxed plastic cup, a wooden stir stick with standard hook and 60 thousandths, a raking stick in 30 thousandths, a standard wiper insert, and a heat source. I have here a specialized heat gun, but any regular hairdryer should work just as well. We start by mixing our epoxy. In this case, one full pump each of the epoxy and the hardener. Pump 1 is binding a bit, but with a little movement on the pump core, I think it went into a false pump set. It is now free and fully dispensing the resin. Moving on to the hardener, I feel a click on the pump 2, which feels like a security pump pin. I continue with downward counter pressure, and all the hardener has been now extracted. I now use my stirring stick with counter rotation and mix the epoxy for 60 to 120 seconds. Now I can optionally use my heat gun on its low 600 watt setting to introduce heat into my epoxy mixture. This modifies the epoxy in several ways. One, it removes many of the air bubbles that occur as a result of the mixing process. 2, it reduces the viscosity of the mixture, allowing it to flow better into small cracks. And 3, it accelerates the curing process, which is okay because this mixture is not being used for material binding or structural support. The core of our knot has very tight tolerances and is one of the more solid cores I've seen in walnut. Our epoxy mixture is now ready to pour. Using wiper insert as a turning tool, we hold the knot steady. Notice how easy the epoxy flows into the gaps and fills the knot hole. I use my raking insert to further guide the mixture. I've left the mixture color straight as it is from the can, but you can mix it with any number of mica colors to add color to your project as you so desire. The knot will slowly fill with epoxy as it works its way to the bottom. I continue to refill as necessary. Even when it appears that the void is filled, it will often need to be topped off several times as the epoxy is absorbed into the wood. If air bubbles reappear, you can use your heat gun to remove those as needed. And just that quickly, the knot void is filled. The mixture will fully harden in 6 to 8 hours, but I usually wait overnight before sanding it smooth. Okay, we're back after allowing the epoxy to harden and cure overnight. I'll start the sanding process by using 60 grit sandpaper, move on to 80 grit sandpaper, and do our final sanding at 120 grit. We'll now move on to the next grit. And a final sanding with the 120 grit. Okay folks, you now have the combination to unlock the skills needed to fix wood knots and other wood defects and voids. We can now take a liquid to wipe on to the wood surface to enhance the grain. We've now gone through the process and we have a very usable and repaired piece of wood. And in any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a nice day. Thank you. A quick shout out to the Lockpicking Lawyer. I hope you found this video enjoyable and all in good fun. I appreciate your channel. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please click on the button to subscribe, as well as the thumbs up below. Thank you and have a nice day.